for attending our special workshop live stream from Kagawa, directly to Kagawa, which is Japan's udon capital. And then we are broadcasting from Yamato HQ, where we are conducting a 5-day udon school. That's a comprehensive training program that we've been running for the past 20 years, right? And then that is course that can transform you into master from in a short period of time, right? And then so we are at the fourth day of the 5-day course here, and then we have a lot of students coming from from Japan, outside the country, to learn about udon, right? And then so we are talking today about you know udon school, right? Udon school, which is about actually very comprehensive training program, right? And then we don't just teach about basics, right? And then but also you know well we actually help like each student, right? To create his or her own menu, right? And then because markets tend to be competitive, right? Becoming more and more competitive, right? So you have to be able to like stand out in the market, stand out in the crowd, right? And then be able to create your own unique product, right, over and over. So to stay competitive, right, and then to beat your competition, right? So over and over. So that's what we teach our school, we don't school, right? Then we conduct this school like in Gawa as well as Tokyo too. So then we're gonna go through like what we teach our school, right? Then we're gonna go to our kitchen. We're gonna show you guys around, right? What we have here, our showroom, and then our kitchen, right? Our equipment and everything, and then and then we're gonna show you guys our best-selling noodle machine for udon, right? Shinuchi. Um, then how you're gonna be able to make your own noodles, right? By taking advantage of this huge machine from scratch. So then so by watching this live stream, you'll be able to learn, right? How to make your own udon noodles, right, from scratch. And then you can take advantage of you know this wonderful training program, right? By attending this program, you can either come to Java, or like to go to Tokyo, you prefer, right? And then attend the school to become udon master. In a very short period of time, and then you can you know um, watch how beautiful udon noodles can be made on this energy machine, and then take advantage of this machine to be able to like make your own start making your own udon noodles that will turn your customers into raving fans, right? So then lastly, right, we have some secret code that you can use, right, to unlock special deal that you can use. For those people who may be interested in like purchasing your market noodle machine right this month, we have a special going on. So we're gonna give you this secret code like in the by the end of this live stream. So please stay tuned and watch this live stream to the end. Right? Um, so our udon school, right, is based on this method, digital cooking method, right? So we rely on numbers rather than physical sensations and our experiences, right? Then we measure everything by numbers, right? We the weight of the ingredients, and then ratios of like mixing different ingredients, right? And then minutes and seconds of like cooking something. So we measure everything by numbers. By relying on this method, right, we were able to turn amateurs into pros in a short period of time, right? So in traditional way, like if you start up like starting up a udon shop, right, you have to like going to like long years of like apprenticeship, like at some udon shop, right? Well, you may have to pay huge amount of money, or you have to spend like years and years in like training at some udon shop, right? Established udon shop, right? But our program allows you to learn the basics, like fundamentals of the udon production, right? Based on this method, digital cooking method, and then turn yourself into udon master in a short period of time. So that's how we were able to turn many hundreds of people into udon masters in a short period of time with this method, right? And then so we also our school, right? Our concept is also based on you know as I said right before, turning people into masters who are able to, keep coming up with like new menu items, right? So if you know the basics, right, and then fundamentals, like in a scientific way, and then data-driven methods, right, then you'll be able to, you know, start making your own new menu items on your own, right? So that with this like increasingly competitive industry, right? This is the vital skill that you can have, right? To stay competitive, right? Stay strong in the market. It's increasing competitive market, right? So this is what we teach our school, right? I mean, in addition to right all these production methods, the recipes and everything, right? So that's what we teach, right? We are able to turn you into this udon noodle master that who's able to like transform himself like over and over, right? By using this cooking method. Okay, so it's kind of a little noisy in this showroom because students are like making noodles right on machines, right? So it's a little bit noisy, but we can kind of like start showing you guys around, and then so basically this is a showroom, right? Where we have different machines, you know, to make different types of noodles, right? But we are in this session of like making udon noodles, right? And then students are all over the place making udon noodles, and then so over here, this student is making well, kind of preparing the udon dough, right, into the press machine, right? First you need to flatten these doughs first, and then then they flatten, and then so they are thin enough to be able like go through the safety bar, right, into the rolling roller units, right? So so that's what they're doing, right? So making a lot of udon noodles, right? Using udon machines. So so this is the showroom we have, right? And then over here we have um, yeah. So we actually have the number of students we can have one course is just 8 people, but in this course we exceeded the maximum number by two, so like we have 10 people, say students, right? So over here we have all these like different types of flowers, right? These are for flowers for ramen, right? Then these are flowers for udon noodles, right? So in Japan, there are demands for udon noodles, so you know these different milling companies compete, right? So by coming up with like different flowers with different protein content, which determines the hardness of the udon noodles, and then ash content, and then viscosity. Got it, right? So viscosity is basically determines the elasticity of the udon noodles, right? So udon noodles are very important in a way that because udon noodles we want to care about more about noodle texture for udon noodles because udon noodles tend to be thicker, right? Than other noodles like ramen or soba, right? So we want to care more about noodle texture by choosing different wheat flours, right? That give us different type of noodle texture, right? So you know, so we so that's why we have like a lot of different udon flours, and then so by combining maybe A and B at different ratios, right? Gives us that we can create different type of udon texture, right? So that's what we have over here. And then we know that we've tried like experiment like many times to come up with perfect udon texture, but kind of distinguish really different udon texture. So you know so we teach how to blend them, right? And over here the student making like kind of probably curl udon noodles, right? So noodle making part is very important, in terms of the skills you operate, or like even like you make them by hand, right? So it's very important. And then coming to the kitchen, uh, coming to the kitchen, then so over here we have noodle cooker, right? So city setup. So noodle cooker is like part of udon restaurant, because noodle cooker is like very important, because udon noodles, they're thick, right? So it takes long time to cook. So we want to have like a specific uh, type of noodle cooker for udon noodles, right? So um, notice that like this cooker has like a big, well, capacity, right, to hold like a lot of water. So we want to have at least like 10 times the water, the weight of the noodles we are cooking, right? And this, so we want to have like a large space to hold water, right? And then another thing we have, like you notice, like this is a tap, right? This tap that runs soft water, right? Soft water is very important because it allows us to cook noodles faster, right? And then if you use hard water, right? It takes a long time to cook noodles, and then noodles are thick, right? Usually, so it takes like way long time. Okay, so if you have to cook noodles for that long time, then it damages the noodle texture, right? And then you lose noodles, right? By dissolving the noodles in the cooking water, right? So the use is that, right? So there's not nothing good about like using hard water, when cooking noodles, especially noodle noodles, right? And then so notice this drainage hole, right? Drainage hole, right? So like this is very important because well, we add water, right? And then at the same time we are draining overflow water to keep water clean relatively, right? While we are in operation, right? So the more noodles we cook, the dirtier the water gets, right? And then less efficient the water becomes. When cooking the noodles, right? So we want to keep adding this salt water, right? A little by little to maintain the temperature of cooking water, right? At the same time, you want to overflow the dirty water to drain it, right? So like, we want to have this kind of cycle of like kind of keeping clean keep the water clean, right? While we're cooking, right? So especially at peak time, right? Then notice this system we have, the sink, noodle cooker and then double sink, right? So this is very important, right? When having your cooking section. So this cooking section, so you once you cook the noodles, right, and then so we keep catch the noodles, udon like in this net, so you can draw another batch, right? And then then you have another timer that times the how long the noodles are being like in the water, right? And then you can do the same like with the different nets, right? More nets. So you can have like maybe 5 nets, like cooking that in the udon noodles, right? Right. Um, so this is how you kind of juggle around, right? And then once you're done cooking, right? Time's up, and then alarm start, go off, and then so you take the net and then you know put it over here, right? The first thing, right? So you have this kind of basket to catch noodles, and then you start washing the noodles, right? So noodles have like this starch, right? Kind of slimy starch on the noodles. So you want to wash them off, by running the cold water, wash them. And then after that, you move the noodles right in the second sink, like where you're gonna chill the noodles, right? You're gonna chill the noodles, so you have three facets, right, for this system. And then after that, you're gonna portion the noodles, right? The portion noodles, right? And then so you have this kind of container, right, holding this cooked noodles, right? And then when you get older, and then you're gonna warm it for the hot soup noodle, and then you're gonna just serve it like with a cold zaro or something dish, right? So remember, like this system is kind of a must have for your udon restaurant operation, right? Yeah. So this is the kitchen, and then another thing we have is over here is that this is the induction cooker, right? So induction cooker is like not a must for you to have, but like we've been using induction cookers for a while because it doesn't produce like high ambient temperature, right? If you have like a stove, like gas stove, bare fire, right? I mean that creates a lot of ambient, high ambient temperature, and then it's really creates a really like harsh environment for your workers, right? So if you use the induction cooker, and then so each induction cooker have like its own faucet, right? That runs soft water, right? And then so pot, right? Then cook dashi stock, and then yeah, also yeah, there's a dashi, right? That's made already. And then what's important is that like after you make dashi, right, you want to rapidly chill it. So we have we're chilling this over here, and then we have another sink, right, that you can put like you know stock pots, and then chill by running cold water in there. So rapidly cooling the dashi stock is very important because by doing this, 'cause if you have like if you make a dashi and then just leave it, right, after strain it and leave it, and then it's still hot, right, 70 degrees Celsius or something, and then it still keep cooking in there, right? So that's going to speeden up the process like a spoiling, right? So you want to chill it as quickly as possible, and then yeah, you can put it in the fridge after that, and then you can just take the portion of like what you're gonna use for that part of the operation, maybe 30 minutes or something. Um, then this is how you can keep your dashi stock for as long as possible, until you use it up, right? So um, another thing we have over here is the fryer. Fryer is something that probably you want to have for your udon restaurant because tempura is something that that's like well, that kind of like come with your udon dish, right? The udon is kind of plain usually. Like kakedashi stock, hot soup stock, kind of plain, right? So tempura is kind of greasy. Like only tempura is kind of must to have like for your um customers. So we have fryers. So we teach how to make different types of tempura. How to clean the fryer and stuff like that too. So um, another thing. So and then so we have something um, you know we've been talking about soft water, right? So I think the most valuable information piece of information that you can take away from this live stream is having using soft water, for your cooking your udon noodles, right? Um, so this is a kind of a simple tool that you can have, right? It's a tank, right? And then it's a filtration tank. Like you can connect it to your faucet, and then water pipelines, and then you can start running soft water from faucet, right? So it's a very simple tool, like the converts the hot water into salt water by filtering it, right? It uses the salt water to clean this filter. Um, but it's a very simple device that that's gonna definitely worth your investment. It's a small investment that you need to make, like it's just very low cost, valuable tool that you can have. Like if you have to like, use hard water, right? So you know, we have customers in Hawaii, right? Selling udon noodles, right? And Hawaii is like notoriously hard water, the volcanic region, right? So they operate the same udon shop in Japan, right? Where water is soft, right? Um, but then so the cooking time of the sake udon noodles is just 8 minutes, right? But in Hawaii, right, the exactly same udon noodles, right? They have to cook it for 23 minutes, right? So that's like twice or three times as long as you have to cook the exact same noodles, right? So imagine like how much more you have to spend on gas, labor, right? And how much time like you have to make your customers wait. Um, so that's no brainer, right? Then so that's every day. That compounds, right? Think about how much more you have to spend, over the next 3 months in a year, right? So, that's no brainer. So you just investing like maybe a couple $1,000 or something in this kind of simple device is no brainer, right? So if you have to work with that hard water, then just jump grabbing, your soft water and then start doing it, from today, right? Okay, so that's kind of what we have, right? And then, each student has her own workstation, right? And then, we have, three instructors, like 3 to 4 instructors, guiding the students. So it's a lot of um, consulting, helping, teaching that we do, like in the day, kind of for 8 hours or so a day, right? So it's a very focused, concentrated, like 5 day course that you can jump into to transform yourself into Udon master, right? So it's a very yeah. So we've been doing this for over the past two decades. Turning like over 2,000 students into pros, right? Um, so it's a very comprehensive course that you can start doing, right? And then so okay, back into our showroom. Then yeah, we have still have like few students like doing the making their own noodles, right? And then you know there's some like very unique udon noodles, right? So as I was talking about, right, our udon school like not just teach right the basics, you know, um, kind of basic recipes or production method, but also we help the right each student, his whole idea to manifest it into reality, right? By helping them um, create their own recipes, create their own udon noodles, right? Create their own like sauce, like soups, right? So um, so that's what we do, right? Because as I said, like right, uh, restaurant industry, like food markets, like tend to um, tend to get competitive, right? And then it's so we have to be able to like keep creating your own unique menu items, right? Over and over to stay competitive, and then um, yeah, to stay strong in the market. And then so this is Shinuchi machine, right? Our best-selling machine, right? We probably sell all over 2,000 units or something. And then so this is like only one unit, only one machine we have, right? So we have this is a mixer, right? This is a 12.5 kilo mixer, right? That comes right off the like in the lower unit, and then this is the press machine, right? So in the old days, like or like actually today as well, like there are some like udon shops that walk the dough by stepping the dough right by the feet. Then this press machine, right, basically mimics that process, right, walking. Because yeah, walking the dog, right, with the feet, like would be like actually, it's not like it does. It sounds like kind of easy task to do, right? But like it's an intensive work, right? You have to be able to like kind of step on it, like walking on it, like for hours, right? So it's a very intense. But this using this press unit, like you can reduce the amount of work, use the you know the amount of time that you have to spend, right? It probably takes like maybe 5 minutes or so, like to do like couple batches of dough, right? Then so this is a roller, right? We have a roller unit that like thin the dough like gradually, right, one by one, and then gradually thin it, and then here we have like thickness measure display, right? So like this red sensor, right? You see like red laser that's pointing at the dough that's going into the roller, right? So every time like dough goes into the roller, it goes under the hits the laser, and then this thickness shows up over here on the display, right? And then so after that, we thin it, and then to the certain thickness, right? And then we're going to cut it, right? So cutting cutting is done this cutter knife, right? This cutter knife, and it just goes up and down, right? And then so the conveyor carries the dough into the cutter, and then goes in. This cutter like goes up and down, like cuts it into the noodle strand, right? And then noodle strand like goes into the conveyor over here, like it's kind of hard to see, but then there's a tray that's moving side to side, right? Collecting the noodle strands that are being dropped from this conveyor, and then that then after it's just done cutting, then you can slide off this tray, and then noodles are done, right? So this is how this Shinichi machine works. Yeah, we've done you know a lot of workshops on the Shinichi machine, how this Shinichi machine works previous videos. So like please check out the previous recordings of videos, right? On our YouTube channel, Yamato Noodle, right? So please do that, you know. And then so yeah, so this is working on that noodle. So that's noodles, udon noodles that like they're making, right? Like beautiful looking noodles. And then so over here we have resting cabinet. So udon noodle making process goes like so you want to make first of all like you weigh the ingredients, right? Flour, water, salt and vinegar, and then we're gonna mix them like to make dough, right? And after that, like we put it in a resting cabinet, and then set the temperature to 20 degrees Celsius, right? And then rest for 2 hours, right? And then we take it out, and then we're gonna press it in the pressing unit that we just saw, and then 3 to 5 times depending on the your dough, right? Then we're gonna divide it right into pieces that are small enough for you to like start spinning, right? And then so and then put them back into the resting cabinet, and then want to set the timer to 18 degrees Celsius, right? And then we're gonna rest them for overnight, right? And then so these some of these noodles like they are cutting right now like were made yesterday, right? So so usually like udon noodle making process takes like 2 days. So it's a but and then you make a bunch of dough, and then rest them right the day before, and then like you can start thinning it and cutting it the next day. So it's a very so that's the kind of how the process goes, right? And yeah, and then I think hello students, like I think all of them like are done using their machine. So you're just gonna go to the yeah. So let's do the. Let's show you guys the you know how we do our udon noodles, right? So we have udon dough. One of our colleagues made yesterday, and then I'm going to because these pieces of dough is like too big, right? Too thick, you know, to go through the safety bar. So we want to first you know flatten them like in a press machine, and then make sure that like you dust them very very well. Otherwise, like they'll become like one piece of dough, right? Which is going to be like too big for us to thin. So just pushing this one button, right? Then like this press unit like ascends to the panel we have like in the ceiling panel, and then the dough is pressed against the um, ceiling, right? And then it just comes back down like automatically, right? So we have a flattened piece of udon dough. Yeah, luckily, yeah, it, it stayed like separated from the other dough. So yeah, so what we started doing is to thin it, right? So I'm gonna gear it up to like kind of narrow the wall gap, right? As we, you know, thin it, right, one by one, round of then. So she's like kind of turning the direction of the dough, right, going into the roller, because we can actually kind of work the dough in this by through this spinning process too by change the direction of the dough going in, right? So you're gonna be able to have dough that's strong, you know like multiple directions, right? So like if you pull this dough, right, sideways, right, it just kind of stretches out and then like doesn't rip. So it's a strong, really strong like dough in in different directions, which is a good thing. Like which like affects the little texture in a positive way, right? So that's why we thin dough at different directions, and then you notice that the numbers right on the thickness display, right, it's changing, right? So it's a millimeter. Um, so it's 6.9 millimeter, right? And then, but the thickness is kind of double, like 'cause, she fold it, and then I measured that that's kind of center of the dough sheet. So it's out like so you want to divide it by two, right? To get that thickness of the one sheet of dough, which is 3.4 millimeter. And then in cutting, and then make sure you want to to dust well. So it's cutting and then going in, right? So the speed of the conveyor belt basically determines the width of the noodle stand. Yeah. So cutting is done. Then we stop the machine, right? And then so the noodles are kind of collected in this tray, right? So once you pull it out, then you have these beautiful noodles like lined up, and then you want to grab the noodles at the center, and then kind of comb them through, right? Make them straight, and then place them into the container. So this is how we sort of like store them away. Um, you know, before we start cooking them, right? In cooker. Okay, yeah. So this is how like udon noodle made or like enrichment. I mean udon enrichment machine, right? Our best selling udon machine that we have, right? Exported to over 66 countries, right? Um, and then so it's a very simple machine that anyone can master operating in a short period of time. And then so we have udon school going on, and then I think the next day, I mean, the tomorrow is like last day, right? Friday last day, and then what we are gonna do tomorrow is to you know make the final product, right? Make final product, and then kind of put everything together, that they have learned, you have learned so far, right, for the past 4 days, and then put everything together to show your final product, right? And then our principal is going to evaluate them, and then kind of tweak them, and then to improve them, right? And then they're going to conduct a simulated udon shop, right? Where they can actually operate udon shop, right? Actual operation by having like customers, right, lined up, actually ordering some of the udon dishes that they prepare, right? So it's a actual simulated udon operation, udon shop operation experience that you're gonna have like in the last day. So it's a very good practice that you're gonna have. So you can like you can kind of like you know that your sensitivity about like you have can have like experience, like actual experience, like running a udon shop. So that's I think it really like very important lesson that you can do before actually opening your udon shop, right? And then we'll welcome graduates, right? To join us like for the last day, final day, right? To polish your udon skills, right? Before you're opening your udon shop, right? So to reduce the risk of failure. So it's a 5 day course that we are conducting. Um, in Kagawa and then Tokyo, where we have showroom in Shinagawa district, right? So please think about coming to, and then so but I think for you to start exploring, right, the world of again, to start off on your journey of like to becoming udon master, like to opening your udon restaurant business. I think that good start is to probably come to this part of Japan, like Kagawa, Japan's udon capital, right? Where you can go explore like different types of udon shops and different menu items, right? We have like some probably top 10 udon shops in Japan, right? Kind of concentrated in this prefecture. So, I think and then it's a very good reason to come to Japan anyway. So, and then another thing you can do is that like you can attend a course, 5 day course. We have courses coming up in April, I think in Tokyo, or and then May in Kagawa again, right? So please check out our, um, the homepage, website, Yamato. Probably in this case, like mfg.com, for the schedule, right? And then we also have an online course, only in Japanese, but like for now, right? But English version coming up soon. Um, but you can start taking this udon course in what Japanese like online course, right? Right away from tomorrow, right? So and then if then for the last thing that I have for you guys is to, like, as I promised, right? So this is a secret code that, like, told you before, like, maybe be interested in, like, buying a Mad Noodle machine this month, right? This is a secret code that you can send to us by email to unlock the special deal, right? It's a MAR 2024 hyphen Richmond exclamation mark, right? So please, if you are interested, right, please send this code by email, and then we're gonna give you the special deal if you purchase a Noodle machine by the end of March 29th this month, right? So yeah, that's what we have for today in this live stream. Then if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, and then don't forget to like this, and then hit the bell notification so that you won't miss any of our content. Then yeah, so thank you so much for watching, and then we'll hope to see you back in the next workshop that we're gonna be having like next week. So thanks so much. Bye bye.